Good evening, everyone. Let's call this February 27th, 2024 council meeting to order. Tracy, can I have roll call, please?
Leibold,
Here.
Park,
Here.
Sittig,
Here.
Smith, Wason.
Here.
Thank you. Item 3 is approval of the agenda. I don't think there are any changes to what's in front of you. Could I have a motion for approval, please?
So moved. Second.
Moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item 4 is our consent agenda. There was a great question about the change order. Are there any other questions or things to talk about separately? Could I have a motion for approval, please?
So moved. Second.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5 is public comment. Now it's time for anyone in the audience to make comments, bring items to council's attention that's not already on our agenda tonight. I don't see anyone else out there in the public for that reason, unless, Carol, you have anything else to bring to us.
I'll make my few comments.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I will close the public comment period time then. Item 6, Josiah, just in time. Are you settled in?
Could you come back to me?
I sure can.
For a second?
No problem. Ryan,
Okay.
city
Thank
administrator report.
Well, I'll use some dramatic pauses here to give
Perfect.
Josiah a few more minutes. Just really a couple things on my end, and that is a reminder and a save the date notice for April 11th. That is a Thursday evening, starting at 4 o'clock. We'll have our goal setting session and strategic planning session with Karen Kurt, who will facilitate this. She's the executive director at ECI-COG and has former city manager and recently conducted Iowa City's planning session. So looking forward to her participation or her assistance in facilitating that. And then for your information, our staff team will be meeting with her next week to have our session with her. And then we'll bring that information and share it with you folks and have an independent discussion there. And then I know Josiah probably has some updates on the city hall. I'll leave the technical updates to him if he wants to share. I will say I was in there today and boy, we are close, starting to hang TVs now. Appliances are in. We remain hopeful, as I noted at our last meeting, that a move-in would be mid-April with I'd like to say a fair chance of having our second council meeting in April in that new facility. But right now things are looking good. That's what I'd have for you tonight, unless there are any questions from the group.
Are there any questions for Ryan? Long enough pause?
Yeah.
All right, let's
Thank
do
you.
it.
Update on 2 projects in construction. City Hall, we'll just start with that one. As Ryan said, so March is going to be a very busy month there, inside and outside. So some of the details inside, we're going to start doing punch lists of like the second floor while they're finishing up first floor. We'll start on commissioning of the overall building systems, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, things like that, running them through test and balancing and getting all those things wrapped up. And then you'll see a lot of work on the outside now with the weather coming back, some curb work, a bunch of landscaping work in the main plaza area, just general cleanup and starting to, like Ryan mentioned, things coming together outside just as much as they're coming together inside. So March should be a good month for the City Hall project. The streets and maintenance facility, just a couple quick updates. The demo work is going well. They're actually going to start new concrete footings next week. They're building basically new office space in the streets and maintenance facility building inside. So they need to build new footings to hold those floors in those offices. Steel's on schedule for mid-March and mechanical units in May. So far so good on that one, on track. Quick update on a design project, Centennial Park. We're nearing our next milestone in design, which is a final review set to city staff and everybody in March. We'll review that finally, that final review set as well internally. That's all getting ready to go out to bid in April. Bids open in May as a reminder, and then construction starts after Blues and Barbecue. So looking good on that one as well.
Awesome. Any questions for Josiah? Thank you. Item 8 is mayor's report. I have a couple of items. I wanted to first of all thank Brian for being a part of the fire department celebration. I know, Eric, you were there as well a couple of Sundays ago. Just a great event, and I'm grateful that you were there to do that for us. On the lighter side, took part in the Sip and Stroll last Thursday night. It was great. I wanted to thank Nick and Jillian and Derek and every volunteer that was out there. Got to be a little chilly that night, not as cold and windy as it is tonight, ironically enough. And lastly, I had a chance to meet last night with PAC 275 Cub Scouts, and I invited them to come to council meetings, and one just walked in the door here. So we had about 5 of them here last night, and we ran through a quick mock city council meeting, and he asked great questions out there. So you're looking at a future council member or mayor out there in that audience, just in time. We do have a proclamation to read for us tonight, and this is International Women's Day and Women's History Month. This is whereas International Women's Day is observed around the world on March 8th to celebrate the achievements of women, and Women's History Month in March recognizes the contributions of women in the United States. And whereas the theme for International Women's Day 2024 is Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress, and the theme for Women's History Month is Inspire Inclusion. And whereas in 2024, International Women's Day and Women's History Month come at the midpoint of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which set targets for gender equity and inclusion, as well as the eradication of poverty and hunger, good health, education for all, climate action, and other priorities for 2030. And whereas Sustainable Development Goal number 3, good health and well-being, aims to reduce by 1/3 premature mortality from non-communicable diseases through prevention and treatment, and to promote mental health and well-being. And whereas women leaders and women-led organizations are working in our community and around the world to promote good health and well-being, and whereas the International Women's Day will be celebrated locally at Night of 1,000 Dinners, Thursday, March 7th, and will honor 5 women-led organizations that are advancing good health and well-being. 4Cs of Johnson County, the Global Kids School-Based Clinics, the Emma Goldman Clinic, the Youth Crisis Stabilization Program, and the UN Children's Fund, UNICEF. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the city of North Liberty, do proclaim March 8th as International Women's Day and the month of March as Women's History Month in North Liberty, Iowa, and urge all persons to commemorate and celebrate the achievements of women in changing the world. And Carol Lyons is here with us tonight in a few words to say about this and to accept this proclamation. You're welcome to come up, Carol. Right up here to the podium. That way there's a microphone to hear you.
All right. I think is that too, am I too
Perfect.
close? Okay. Some of what I was going to say, you just read. I may go over it a little bit, but anyway, I'm Carol Lyons. I've lived in North Liberty for 50 years this past December, and I'm a member of the Johnson County United Nations Association that's behind this proclamation. And the Johnson County UNA exists primarily to advocate for the United Nations and to work to educate and inform people about the many branches and activities of the United Nations. We want to thank Mayor Hoffman and the North Liberty City Council for accepting this proclamation presented by the Johnson County UNA that acknowledges March 8th as International Women's Day and acknowledges the month of March as Women's History Month. The Sustainable Development Goals that are mentioned in the proclamation, there are 17 of them, and I brought a list just for your information. I don't know if it's been passed around. Okay, it's just informational for anybody who wants it, and these goals are for the whole world. They're not the United States alone. They're done by the United Nations. Years ago in Iowa City, before there was an earlier set of goals. These are the Sustainable Development Goals from 2015 to 2030. There was a set of millennial development goals from 2000 to 2015. And they collected information from all over the world. And there was a group in Iowa City a little before 2000, probably 1999, that met to talk about what should be in these goals. And I joined that group, and it was interesting to do. And we collected a bunch of ideas, and we and thousands of other places around the world sent those ideas to somewhere at the UN, and they came up with the 15 millennial goals that they had. And then 15 years later, they revised them, added a couple goals, and you can see what the current goals are on that sheet. They do try to keep track of progress on those goals, things like eradicating hunger and poverty. Well, obviously that hasn't been done, but there had been some good progress made up until the time that COVID hit the whole world. And then there was a slowdown but it's a way that the world has for talking to each other about things that really need to be done for everybody, not just for any one country. And so that's the kind of thing that the Johnson County UNA, and also there's an Iowa UNA and various other branches in the United States that work for sharing information about the UN and trying to see that in our communities we're doing what we can for helping these sustainable development goals to happen. The proclamation has the information about the Night of 1,000 Dinners that celebrates Women's Day. It's an annual occasion that's been held in the Iowa City area for 30 years. This is the first year it's been held in Coralville at the the Unitarian Universalist building in Coralville. That's almost in North Liberty. And it's an international buffet that anyone is invited to attend to, but it does cost money because it raises money for the organizations that Mayor Hoffman read about. So I think that's all I want to say. Thank you for signing the proclamation. And
You're welcome. I'll bring this out. We can exchange it. And you want to take a photo?
Yeah.
Do it on that one. That would be easy.
Should I stay here?
We'd like to come over here to this red dot area.
Oh,
And then
the
because
red.
we have the North Liberty logo.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Move on to item 9, which are council reports. Time for council members to let us know what they've been doing in the community on behalf of the city. We start with you.
So I did a couple things. So I had the privilege of speaking at the firefighters badging ceremony and then the bugling ceremony for the new officers. And then for the first time ever, they actually had a presentation for a Valor and awards for a life-saving activity that happened last year. So very impressive. And just listening to the retelling of just the details of the rescue, it was pretty scary. So we're lucky to have such dedicated people working for the citizens of North Liberty. And I attended the emergency management meeting last week. Kind of the biggest thing on there is the blizzard response. It sounds like that some of this actually may really be reimbursable now. So they had way more costs associated that were eligible. So the city has put in their paperwork, and so we'll see where we get out of that. And then there will be an after incident report later on to kind of see, well, what could we've done better and stuff. So we'll look forward to that, and then working on just selling some extraneous equipment.
Can you remind us, or the dollar amount that's possibly reimbursable through FEMA in this disaster declaration? It was $100 and some $1,000
But it depends on where you're at, but it was the whole area was
for North Liberty.
I'm not sure what our specific number was, but it was millions of dollars throughout the state.
Mhm. Yeah.
So in the affected area, which was several counties around us.
That's right. That's right. Thank you. Anyone else?
I attended the Think Iowa City luncheon a couple weeks ago. That was an interesting time. We need to find more hotels so we get some more exposure from them probably. But thought Paul did a nice job dropping the puck and throwing out T-shirts at the Heartlanders game. That was fun to watch. And Brian did a great job speaking at the badge pinning ceremony. That was really nice. I went to the Sip and Stroll also. Great event. I had a great time. A lot of people, 750 people this year. And Johnson County Affordable Housing Coalition was Friday. Monthly community meeting. Heard from Ellen McCabe at the Johnson County Housing Trust Fund and Matt Hauge from Polk County Housing Trust Fund, who actually worked apparently on the Penn Oaks project when he was in Johnson County. And just a reminder that Coffee Connections, first Friday of every month, this is Friday at the library.
That's right. Thank you for reminding us. Paul, Brian?
Yeah, I was just gonna say it was fun to sub for you to drop the puck at the Heartlanders game. That was a pleasure. Love that team and yeah, I think Iowa City Sports Commission luncheon. Raina Harmon, the assistant coach for the women's basketball team, spoke and just about her transition from Detroit to our community and how welcoming we were, and that was pretty touching to hear, and also just reminded of how well we work with the communities around us, Iowa City, Corville, Tiffin, all of them. So it was a good time. Great.
Thank you.
That's what I got.
Mine is just more of a lighthearted note. I was spreading the good word and good efforts of our staff in outside of the United States, and I was on vacation for a while since our last meeting. So,
Hence the tan.
Hence the tan.
Excellent.
Yes, so, but yeah, just again, reminder. Thanks to everybody for all their efforts and the staff and making the city run the way it does. It's appreciated.
Thank you. All right. Item 10 then is our West Penn Street project, and item A, resolution number 2024-23 is a resolution approving permanent right-of-way easement and temporary construction easement agreements between Theola K. Rarick, the John P. Rarick Trust, Clint Rarick, and the City of North Liberty. Could I have a motion for consideration, please?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions about this? Ryan did a great job in our packet. Anything else for public consumption?
Good job, Ryan. Yeah, I guess not.
Or Grant? Apparently it was Grant.
No, Ryan did a great job.
Not necessarily related to the three resolutions here, but are we having resistance still?
Yes.
Okay.
But I have received, there are two remaining property owners that we haven't settled with yet, and I have high hopes that we'll have signed documents back within the next 24 hours for one of them, and the other should settle within a week. I don't think we'll have to actually go forward with the compensation commission hearing. The numbers that have been tentatively accepted. So we'll see, but it's not over until it's over.
Right.
Thanks, Ryan.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. Tracy, could I have a roll call, please?
Wason,
Aye.
Leibold,
Aye.
Park,
Aye.
Sittig.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item B is resolution number 2024-24, a resolution approving the memorandum of understanding between Central Iowa Power Cooperative, City of North Liberty, and Johnson County for the West Penn Street Improvements Project. Could I have a motion for consideration, please?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions about this item? Tracy, could I have a roll call, please?
Wason,
Aye.
Leibold,
Aye.
Sittig,
Aye.
Park.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item C is resolution number 2024-25, a resolution accepting the bid and authorizing execution of the contract for the West Penn Street Improvement Project, North Liberty, Iowa. Could Could I have a motion for consideration, please?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Contract was in there and accepted. Any questions about that? Tracy, roll call, please.
Leibold,
Aye.
Wason,
Aye.
Park,
Aye.
Sittig.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 11 is Johnson County Dive Team 28E, and this is a discussion and possible action on withdrawal from the 28E. Would either one of you want to take this?
Yeah, I can take the reasoning behind it, and then if there are technical questions on the agreement or on the motion, we'll defer to Grant. But what I tried to highlight in the memo is that we had an officer who served on this team for 10 years. He was very interested in it, obviously, was comfortable in water, a former swimmer. No longer is serving in that capacity. We don't have anyone else interested in the PD. We looked at fire as well, and again, from a staffing capacity, they don't have anyone that can step into this role at the time. We have served for 10 years, talked to Dave with emergency management last week, and he understands the circumstances. So there's no hard feelings here, but there is an agreement out there that needs to be, they need something from us, and this is where I just should turn it over to Grant, but they need something from us to exit the agreement. Grant?
So formal action from the city council is required to withdraw from the 28E agreement, and that can be as simple as a motion directing staff to inform to initiate the withdrawal from the 28E agreement, and that would be sufficient if that's what you want to do. But we didn't draft up a resolution because we didn't have any. So in case there's more discussion or whatever, but I think the procedure is I move, I second, and then just a voice vote is sufficient. And then Ms. Mulcahy will take that down, and that'll be the formal record of our doing that thing.
And because of mutual aid, we don't have to worry about losing the services, right?
Right. Yeah, we've responded to many. In fact, none of the responses the dive team in this particular case has done have been in North Liberty, at least for an actual emergency. It's been outside of our jurisdiction. That said, we're involved in numerous types of teams like this. There's a bomb team. There's a drone team. There's a
Cybercrime.
Yeah.
Thank you. So it's not as if we're not involved, and some cities are, some cities aren't, and we're just at this time, we're proposing not to be involved.
Can we get back on board if there was someone that does
Sure.
come on that's excited about
We'll
doing it?
need to join on a 2080 agreement, and that'll, but so there's an agreement, it's written, and everybody's signed it, except us. And then we will formally withdraw from that. We won't be on it anymore. And if we want to sign it again, we would need to request to join it and have it be modified so that we're on it again.
So yes.
And no repercussions from withdrawing from the agreement, financial or
I mean,
otherwise.
No.
Legally, no.
Okay.
So we just need a motion to move us off of that dive team.
I'll make the motion that we direct staff to initiate the withdrawal from the 2080 agreement.
Well said. Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any other questions, guidance? All right. Ms. Mulcahy, could we have
You may do a voice vote.
You sure can.
I was misled by I'm just kidding you. Could I have all in favor say aye, please?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you all very much. Do we have what we need, Grant?
We sure do.
All right. Item 12 is Middle Iowa Water Management Association, and this is resolution number 2024-26, a resolution approving the memorandum of understanding between the City of North Liberty and Johnson County for Middle Iowa Watershed Management Authority. Could I have a motion for consideration, please?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Ryan, you said it well in your memo, but could you just give us a quick update on what we are doing here?
Sure. We're simply acting as a fiscal agent for this group. we're one of the larger communities involved, and so we're taking in, we would be taking in the grant funds that they received, and in this case, they're receiving those funds from Johnson County. And then as that board approves disbursements, we would issue those disbursements to the vendor, to the vendor consultant. Tracy and I talked about this. She was initially part of that board. I'm not sure if you're still going. I know Mike's our
representative.
Mike Wolf is our stormwater coordinator, who's our representative on the board. But this will impact staff time very minimally, and that was a concern of ours. But because it should be fairly simple, we said we could take it on, and so that's what this resolution and memo of understanding is doing.
Thank you. Any more questions for Ryan?
Am I remembering correctly that we're part of 2 of these?
Yeah.
And this is the one that has been going on longer, or is
This one's brand new.
Okay.
The other one's Clear Creek. There will probably be another Iowa River piece coming our way. We're a part of 2 watersheds within the Iowa River watershed overall.
Any other questions? Tracy, could I have a roll call, please?
Sittig,
Aye.
Park,
Aye.
Leibold,
Aye.
Wason.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 13, the Centennial Park Play Yard Naming Agreement. And this is item A, resolution number 2024-27, a resolution approving the naming rights agreement between the City of North Liberty and Watts Family Foundation that establishes the terms and conditions under which a sponsorship for Centennial Park Next Stage Park project will be provided. Could I have a motion for consideration, please?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions about this? I'll just acknowledge publicly, thank you to the Watts Family Foundation for this very generous donation to this park. With that, Tracy, could I have a roll call, please?
Sittig,
Aye.
Park,
Aye.
Leibold,
Aye.
Wason.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 14 is Water Tower Place, and this is resolution number 2024-28, a resolution accepting public improvements for Water Tower Place subdivision in North Liberty, Iowa. Could I have a motion for consideration, please?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions about this one? Tracy, could I have a roll call, please?
Leibold,
Aye.
Sittig,
Aye.
Wason.
Aye.
Park.
Aye.
Motion carries. And item 15 is our second consideration of ordinance number 2024-01, an ordinance amending Chapter 62 of the North Liberty Code of Ordinances to update speed violation citation criteria and the location of special speed zones. Could I have a motion for consideration, please?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any questions about this? Second go at it. Tracy, roll call, please.
Park,
Aye.
Wason.
Aye.
Leibold,
Aye.
Sittig.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 16 is old business. Item 17, new business. All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.